So people on the internet are now clutching their pearls, pretending to be offended because Trump had the audacity to question what race Kamala Harris really is. He questioned her ethnicity. He questioned why, when it comes to election season, all of a sudden you're black, but when there's not an election coming up, there's no ties to the black community at all. You just disappear. And in the beginning, in the early stages of Kamala's political career, all the way up until 2020, there was never much talk about her being black at all. It was all about her being Indian. But now, once she wanted votes, once she wanted to pander to the black community, all of a sudden she changes the way she talks, she changes the way she acts, trying to secure the black vote. But the funniest part is, over on corners of the internet like Black Twitter, which is literally a thing, they call it Black Twitter, they've been making fun of Kamala Harris's race for a long time. They've been questioning her race for a long time. In fact, people are using the Kendrick Lamar song, Not Like Us, when discussing Kamala Harris because they're saying she's not like us. She's an imposter. She's someone who pretends or only leans into being black when she needs votes. This is something that people have recognized. It's an ongoing joke. It's not a secret. Now, all of a sudden, they're trying to make it go away because now she's running for president and they don't want her looking bad at all. But this is an ongoing theme, an ongoing joke that's been going on for years now. But just as leftists do, it's always the rules for thee, not for me. So the same people who have been questioning this and making fun of this for years are now some of the same ones who are pretending to be offended by what Trump said. But I'm glad some people have the balls to call it out.
Trump questioned Vice President Kamala Harris's racial identity during a fiery Q&A at the National Association of Black Journalists convention in Chicago. Take a listen.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Janiyah Thomas, the Black Media Director for the Trump Campaign 2024, joining us now. Janiyah, good morning to you. Vice President Harris last night responded to those comments by former President Trump. Let's listen to that, and I'll ask you a question on the other side.
It was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts.
Let me pause the clip right there because you see, this is what I warned you all about. This is the tactic that I told you all they're going to use, and they're going to continue using it moving forward. And it's actually an effective tactic because a lot of people are idiots. But she's saying that Donald Trump was divisive and disrespectful. No, Donald Trump showed up at the convention willing to talk, willing to answer questions, and immediately when he took the stage, the journalists started to attack him. And he responded with the same energy that they gave him. But that's what they do. Oh, now Trump, oh, he's bad, he's divisive, and he's disrespectful, and he's mean. Look at how he talked to these black women who literally attacked him on stage. You know what I mean? But this is the tactic that they're using. They're using it's funny because it's all about women empowerment and women being on an equal playing field. But when Trump treats these women like he treats anyone, it's a problem. Trump is supposed to treat these women with kid gloves. When they come at him, attacking him and slandering his name, he's supposed to be nice, cordial, and polite. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris doesn't have to deal with anyone questioning her in this way because no one, even people on the right, would never question her in that way. And then she talks about, oh, the American people deserve someone who doesn't lie to them. You've literally been lying to us about Joe Biden being fit for office for the last 4 years. So if we're talking about liars, let's start with that big lie. But go ahead and continue the clip.
What is the Trump campaign's response to that this morning?
I mean, I think what she said, that what the American people deserve. I think the American people, specifically Black people, deserve a campaign event that isn't limited to a Megan Thee Stallion concert. You know, I think that when you're approached in a hostile, disrespectful way, that's only natural. We're all human to respond the same way. He was in a hostile situation. They came at him immediately from the start. There was no, hi, how are you? No, thank you for being here. None of that.
The reaction, though, has been fierce to the former president's comments. Some have called his performance there, quote, chaotic, a train wreck, hostile. Why bring up race?
I mean, they wanted to bring up race. We're talking to a room full of Black journalists. Obviously, race was going to come up during the discussion. And I think they made the entire conversation very racial. And I think that, like, a lot of Black voters want to hear people talk about policies. They want to hear him talk about the tangibles. They want to hear him talk about the things he's done for our community. They want to hear him talk about the things he's going to do for our community. And I think they made the entire conversation about race because of the environment that he was in. And I think that Black voters deserve to hear more and deserve better than that.
But the former president is the one who made the comments questioning Kamala Harris's racial identity. Why bring that up when there are, to your point, other issues to discuss? Inflation, the economy, the border.
I think initially, he didn't say anything that Twitter and everyone else hasn't already been saying. A lot of Black voters have been saying the same thing about her, that she flip-flops and doesn't know whether she wants to be Indian or whether she wants to be Black. And she likes to be Black when it's convenient. I don't think he said anything wrong in that.
Will race be a continued theme that we'll see from the Trump campaign here on out?
I think that's a question for Kamala Harris's campaign. I think they're the ones that like to race bait, and I think they're the ones that make everything about race.
For Black voters, and really for any voter who's watching this morning, what is the Trump campaign's message to Black voters today?
It's the same message that it's been the entire campaign. If you want safer communities, stronger borders, and a stronger economy, then vote for President Trump come November.
Okay, Janaea Thomas, thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate you answering our questions.
Now, this news anchor is obviously a freaking idiot that most likely suffers from TDS, asking questions like, why did Trump make it all about race? Well, why do we have a National Black Journalists Convention in the first place? Does every race of people have their own convention? Do we have a Chinese journalist convention? Do we have a white journalist convention? The convention is about race in itself because apparently Black journalists feel like they're different than everyone else and they need their own conference. They need their own conventions and get-togethers. So, the whole thing is about race. But she seems to have forgotten. She's so ready to sink her teeth into Trump. Did she not watch the question that led to Trump questioning Kamala Harris's race? They literally, the journalists on stage that day, made it about race. They questioned Trump about Kamala being a DEI hire. They started making the conversation about race, and Trump just responded. It's not like Trump took the stage and was like, Kamala ain't Black, she's Indian. He didn't just come out there and say that in the way that she's pretending that he did. So, I don't know why. It's like selective memory, selective hearing. We didn't hear the question. All we heard was Trump's answer. And Trump's guilty of making everything about race, even though this whole convention is about race, because Black people need preferential treatment and get their own Black journalist convention or something. I don't even get it. Why can't there just be a journalist convention with everyone of all races? But, it is what it is. I don't care. I'm just saying. But then, this other woman that was speaking, she made a good point. That, maybe the American people, and more specifically Black Americans, maybe they deserve more than a rap concert when they show up to watch their politicians speak. But this is the Kamala Harris campaign. The Trump campaign is Trump's going to be talking about the policies. He's going to talk about what he will do different for America to make America a better and safer place. That's what the Trump campaign is about. The Kamala Harris campaign, they know for a fact they can't stick to the policies. They can't talk really politics at all. So it's going to be one gigantic party. And when I say party, I don't mean political party. I mean an actual party. It's just going to be a bunch of rappers, people shaking their behinds, and just trying to have fun while ignoring the elephant in the room that Kamala Harris is a sucky candidate, right? So they're going to try to turn that thing into a party to get all of the young voters, and Trump's going to be the one actually talking politics. And unfortunately, we live in America where people will see, oh, wait, Trump is actually making sense about everything he says, but over here they're twerking. Maybe I should go over there. You know what I mean? So it's going to get interesting, folks. If you think that Trump has already won, he hasn't. He has not won yet. All right? So I think everyone needs to keep their foot on the pedal here. But for now, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.